Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame, and yes, this is a recap review for Love and Marriage Huntsville. It is late, but I'm here. When I was going to do the actual recap review the day after it aired, I encountered one of my coworkers, and she was, to make a long story short, very suicidal. And I didn't understand why, because she'd always been really, really sweet to me, really nice. And I can tell that she does certain things or says certain things to certain people as a defense mechanism, because I'm the queen of having defense mechanisms or whatever. But that's why I was like, okay, but she's never had to use that with me. So when I approached her after I told one of my coworkers to go and help her do something, he came and told me that she said she don't want to be bothered with nobody, she don't want to be around nobody and all this other stuff. So I was like, I feel like you lying because you don't want to do no work. So I approached him and her while they were talking, and because it was loud, I thought she said that she didn't want to be upstairs where we were and that she wanted to be downstairs where she typically works the most. And so I was like, oh, I understand that. Like, I like just working in my department if I'm gonna work in a department in general. But she realized that I didn't hear her, and she told me, no, I want to be underground. I want to be 6 feet under. I was like, what? And once I realized that she was talking about how she wishes that she was dead, I was like, what is going on? So I took her off by herself and I was talking to her. And somebody was being nosy. And after like 5 minutes of me talking to her, they came and they were trying to figure out what we was talking about or whatever. But to make a long story short, like I said earlier, she was engaged to be married, and that was 20 years ago. But her fiance, husband to be, passed away from a massive heart attack that he suffered on Thanksgiving Day. And 2 years ago, her mother passed away on Christmas Day. So she does not like the holidays. And that day, it was really weighing heavy on her. And she says that she does not have a support system and she doesn't have anybody to talk to. And I told her, I was like, now, you know good and well, even if I'm in my department working like crazy, you can come up to me and start talking to me, because she's come up to me and talked to me about random regular stuff before, and we laugh about stuff all the time. So I'm like, look, never hesitate to think that, oh, well, I can't come talk. Yes, you can come and talk to me. And when we got alone by ourselves again, I walked and talked with her and made sure nobody was around. And I told her that I 100% understand where she's coming from and that I've had suicidal thoughts. And I told her what my plan was and everything, like to help her understand. I've been there, I understand. But she has not wanted to live since she was 12 years old. And this woman is like a year out from retirement. And like, I'm not going to describe what she looks like, because I mean, it's a simple thing. If I were to say the one simple thing that describes her, anybody who ever just so happens to come across this video that I've worked with at this job would know exactly who I'm talking about. Like, I mean, I wouldn't have to say her race or anything for people to know who I'm talking about. But yeah, she was going all the way through. And I'm the type of person that when somebody's hurting, it hurts me too. And I was not in the right mind frame to do anything. So I came home and I prayed for her. And I mean, when she talked to me, she told me that she prays a lot. And that's the only thing that has really stopped her. She has attempted before, she has thought things out before as well. So, you know, she and I have both done that. And people have said things to her that they don't realize actually hurt her, really, really hurt her feelings. They talking about how she crazy and all this other stuff when she actually does have some sort of a mental disability that she did not disclose fully as to what it was, but she has moments where she's taking medication and all this other stuff to keep certain things at bay. But overall, my experience has been very pleasant with her. So I'm just like, don't like. Sometimes I just be wanting to look at people and be like, don't even talk to her. Like, don't talk to her. Leave her alone, because I will set it off. Like, I don't like that. But I digress. Y'all, sorry I used the first 5 minutes to tell y'all about that, but I just needed to somewhat, at least to me, I felt like I needed to explain where I've been and all of that. And I was just like, at this point, let me just wait until I'm all the way off. Now, here we are with the recap review. Okay, y'all. So the episode started off where it left off from the real episode. Because that last episode they showed which was the Martell and Melody of it all, or the Melody and the Martell of it all. That was not an episode. That was the worst type of a filler I've ever seen in my life. I digress. So it started where it left off for real the last time, with Melody and Martell arguing. And Martell brings up the fact that he saw her at a restaurant that used to be their restaurant. And she was out on a date with some dude. And so you could tell, like, even though he tried to make it seem like, oh, nobody wants you, whatever, it's like when he brings up stuff to my son, well, F you and your man, it's like, what are you talking about? Why are you making it seem like you ain't here for her 1 second, and then the next second you get so angry that you are yelling to the top of your lungs and you say F her and somebody that you saw her out on a date with, I don't know how long ago. It's not like this happened yesterday. Yes, I do know that this show was like filmed in advance before we saw it. But as of recent years, it does not take that long. It's not that far out anymore. So yeah, y'all. But they're going back and forth. And what I've noticed is that in a lot of cases, and people are probably going to think that I'm being biased because Melody's a woman, but I've noticed that, and I think I brought this up before, that she will be calm. She'll say everything in a calm tone, and she'll try to be, respectful and dial it back. And then Martell just starts yelling and being very aggressive, and it's like he's trying to push her buttons, which is why I understand why she said before that she wants nothing to do with any situation. Don't invite me to none of these functions that he gonna be at. If he gonna be there, don't invite me. If I'm gonna be there, don't invite him. Like, I mean, that's a simple request, in my opinion. It is what it is. So yeah, it didn't end well. She ended up getting in her car and leaving, and I'm just like, child, they need more counseling. And I just want them to successfully be able to co-parent their kids. They have 4 children, all of whom are very, very young. And it's like, Lord, it's too much. Child, Kimmy at the house, and she invited one of her friends that she's been cool with for like a really long time, to the point of where, they've, pretty much helped to like babysit their children. And, her son is grown and gone, so to speak, because he is of age, has gone to college and graduated from college. So anyway, they're talking, and apparently Kaiwa was friends with this person as well. And this was like a long conversation. I was shocked that this conversation was as long as it was, but they were talking about how Kaiwa felt some type of way because Kimmy was friends with this person, but Kimmy says that she was friends with this person long before Kaiwa even came into the situation. And the woman was like, for Maurice to send her divorce papers, she basically declined to sign them, and he ended up sending them again. And even after the divorce happened, she was married to a whole other person, and she seemed to still be in her feelings over someone who she had been married to. It's like, girl, like in my mind, I really feel like Kaiwa was just that type of person. She is that type of person who she probably just moved on very quickly and did not heal fully from the situation. And yes, they have a child together. So there's always going to be somewhat of a connection. I feel like you could still love a person or have love for a person, but those feelings that y'all had when y'all were in the thick of it, like deep in the situation together, they do not have to exist again. Those 2 scenarios do not have to coexist because y'all had a history or have history. So yeah, but I was just like, what is going on with this conversation? And, Kaiwa felt some type of way when I guess she was like, girl, the 2 of them are together now. And she said that she was around, like, he apparently, when he moved from Pontiac, Michigan, I told y'all I had an ex who's from Pontiac, Michigan. He attended Alabama State University. He was a football player for a while at Alabama State University. But we were together for a little while. And his father was from Montgomery. His mama, I guess, was from Pontiac, Michigan. I don't know, but she was still living there. She still lives there. I think he has moved back to Pontiac, Michigan, and is married to someone else who he had cheated on with, who he cheated on. And we ain't even gonna get into that. But anyway, so yeah, that's why I be telling y'all, like, I'm like, it was just so ironic that this show has people who are from where they're from, whether they are actually from Huntsville or not, because of the connections to Bessemer, Alabama, and Hoover, and Huntsville, and Pontiac, Michigan. Like, I'm just like, child. But yeah, when everything happened, she was just like, for him to, I think she said he moved to Florida, and then he moved to Huntsville. And at one point in time, he was living with her. And I was just like, what is going on? And like, she just like, I just hate that somebody just like, basically Kiowa threw out there that she was the reason why their marriage didn't last, as if she was the side chick. And she says that she just was not. Now, I feel like, and I haven't seen anybody's video. As far as them doing recap reviews on this particular episode, but I feel like there have probably been people who have said, oh, well, the way that she acted this time when saying that she wasn't the side chick, maybe we need to rethink it. Maybe she was, because look how she was acting. I really feel like somebody might have said that. Y'all let me know in the comment section if y'all follow other people, if y'all are subscribed to other people who do recap reviews on this. Like, I think Ashley Miller does them. I know Bondi Blue does them. I don't know if Rox does them, but I follow quite a few people. Terrence, and I have not been up on anybody's stuff. Like, I try to support and all of that. I'm trying to get back into it, because I used to make time to give them their views, especially if I could do it live. I haven't been able to do that in a couple of months, and I don't like that. But y'all let me know if y'all have seen other people say anything about that, because in my mind, I was like, ooh, I feel like people gonna be like, she looking kind of guilty saying it this time. I don't know why. I was just like, why is it that she's saying it like that? I don't know. I don't know if she's just sick and tired of having to defend herself, or if, I don't know. That might have been what it was, y'all. That might have been the vibe I was giving, but I'm not trying to implicate anything. I'm just saying that I really feel like other people on the outside looking in might have been like, look at how she was acting this time when she was saying it. Like, I don't know. But anyway, it was a mess. Like that whole conversation, I was just like, ooh, child, what is going on? And the fact that I think Kiowa was in her feelings because the friend that's visiting Kimmy, has been cool with her. Like, she was cool with both of them, but she had been cool with Kimmy for forever. And she was like, shoot, they had like maybe a 6-month, 9-month relationship / friendship or whatever. It's like, girl, why you think I'm gonna take your side? All because you were married to him first, I guess. Like, but it's a mess. So anyway, forget all that. Letitia get home from grocery shopping. She done came home from grocery shopping, and it's people in the house just there. And so she looking like, hey, how y'all doing? And I'm like, come on, Marcel. Marcel got these people in the house. Don't nobody know who they are. She done went in the kitchen like, okay, who are they? And so he was like, it's a surprise. And so she was like, okay. He told her, yeah, I know you like surprises. Come to find out these people are there to speak about their finances. And so she's like, okay. Let me get my notebook. And y'all know good and well, he's playing tit for tat because of what she did with pretty much ambushing him with a counseling session with Dr. Francis. And so they're talking about their finances, and she's just like, look, as she's already said before, she always spends for herself and the kids. When he spends money, it's always for him. It's never for them, thinking of we instead of me. So yeah, they went upstairs, looked at her makeup collection. Then they went outside and looked at his car. And she was like, well, he sat up there. I told him that I wanted a truck. And he was like, no, she only wanted a truck because I got a truck. But it was a work vehicle. The transmission went out on my truck. And so she was like, well, I don't understand why he had to get a new truck when he could have just got the problem fixed. Now, in my mind, the mechanic's daughter and me was like, now how old was this truck? Like, you have to put in a lot of factors. If this was an old truck and you have gotten all the value out of the truck, when the transmission goes, sometimes it's best to be like, let me buy another vehicle. Now, if this was a truck y'all just got not too long ago and it still has a lot of value on it, then yeah, that might have been the cheaper route. But transmissions cost $2,000+ a pop. So unless the truck was worth that, well, worth way more than $2,000 and some dollars, like leaps and bounds more, then there was no reason for him to do that. And like them work trucks that they be having, they be them ones where you will put a whole lot of wear and tear going up and down them hilly places, because Huntsville, Huntsville hilly. I think if I'm remembering correctly, Huntsville is very hilly, and a lot of places like that are hilly. And it's like you towing stuff and hauling stuff. Come on now. The weight of the stuff and all that. You put so much wear and tear on the transmission. Child, it just is what it is. Ain't nobody got time to just go through transmission after transmission. Sometimes it's just best to get a new truck. And I get it. It is what it is. So it's like I can see both sides as it pertains to that. But like I said, me being a mechanic daughter, in my mind, I'm like, okay, there are some factors we have to consider, ma'am. Calm down. But she, in my opinion, she just wanted another truck. She said, oh, it's a work truck. I understand that she goes around to people's, to visit places or whatever, to talk to people and to get business from people. But the vehicles that we've seen her in before, I'm pretty sure they are reliable enough. They are not on their last leg. She just wanted another vehicle so that she can have a leg up, or to just be like, oh, let me show what I got, the newest Range Rover. That's really all I feel like she was doing as far as talking about, I want a new truck because you got a new truck. Now, that car that had the butterfly doors or whatever them doors was, the doors that lift all the way just straight up, whatever those are called, I forgot. But anyway, I understand that because she could barely get up in there with him. And it's like, okay, but at the same time, again, I can see both sides, because he was like, that was a present for myself for my 40th birthday. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Because I'll be doing the same. I plan on getting me an SUV for my 40th birthday. Working on it, Lord willing. Because so far, everything I've been manifesting, the smallest up to the biggest, have been happening. And I'm going to continue to do that. Hallelujah in the name. So my thing is, ain't nothing wrong with that. My thing is, you are supposed to pay yourself first anyway. Y'all, I'm sorry that I'm somewhat preaching. I'm not trying to. It just is what it is, because I can see both sides. So yeah, y'all. Ooh, child. Because I'm just like, come on now. This man really, like, y'all know I cannot, y'all know I'm not here for Marceau. Y'all know I'm not. But when you're right, you're right. It is what it is. So now we see Destiny. She has an event where she gets these business owners together, Black business owners together, and they empower one another, network, and all this other stuff. And this is where she's going to unveil the cover photo of herself for, is it Essence? Is it Essence or Hype Hair? Child, I done forgot. But anyway, is it Essence or Hype Hair? I feel like it's that magazine where that woman used to have those super duper small braids. But anyway, whichever one it is, y'all, I done forgot. But yeah, she is thanking everybody for being there and, encouraging people and letting them know who all is there and how they can all like network. And that's amazing that she wanted to create a table for all of them to sit at. So it's not a situation where we got to fight against each other because I'm trying to be out here and be seen and all of that. Like, I think it's awesome. Glad she's doing this. Eventually she does show everybody what's going on with that. Well, Letitia wanted to talk to Tiffany, who is the newest housewife of the group, to see what all was going on with her, because she's like, girl, you've told me things about you, but I don't know any negative. All I know is that you were divorced and you got married and that's it. So she was like, yeah, I was with the person that I was with and I've cheated before. My ex, my actual husband right now, he was in a relationship and he cheated on somebody that he was with. But she said that when she cheated on her ex, that it was a situation where they had been like in school and all this other stuff. So she was like, girl, that don't even count. Girl, yes, it does count. Cheating is cheating. Cheating is cheating. I don't understand why people are like, ooh, well, it don't count. Like, I even feel like it's a slap in the face for people to say, well, it don't count if you cheat and do step outside of your relationship before, like if you do anything, nothing counts before you're married. Child, please. I don't understand. I feel like people make up random rules as they go along. And I'm just like, no, a lot of that stuff is supposed to set you up for the life that you want to have later on in life. Like what expectations you want to have. Like, just stop. Like, I'm not here for it. But anyway, she was kind of like, oh, okay. But I'm like, girl, bye. We already know that you were accepting of pretty much anything. So go off though. Destiny was talking to Melody and she was like, well, there was this woman. Remember when Melody did her music video? The woman, Stormy, I think is what her name is. She's pregnant and she's due at any time. And she was there at this function. And so she was like, I just, she's sponsoring the event. And so Melody was like, girl, what you mean? Like, I was supposed to sponsor this event. Like, what's going on? So she was like, well, I wasn't sure if you were going to show up and whatever. So she was like, girl, I could have still sponsored this event. What did you talk about? I'm like, child, it's a mess. This is a mess. Then, of course, this ended up being a way for it to be a segue into the Kimmy and Letitia situation, where we find out that Letitia is apparently really in her feelings about this situation with the Destiny race, because she's like, you didn't get the check and all this other stuff. So she was like, girl, what we're not finna do is this. The check might have been late, but it was received. Like, let's not even do that. Like, are you more concerned about getting the check or the fact that I didn't respond to a text message? Like, which one is more important? Because I'm not understanding. Child, it's a mess. It's a mess. And I'm just like, y'all done did the most in your lives. But yeah, it was just too much. I want to make sure that I'm not skipping over anything, y'all. So the end of the episode is here, and we see Kimmy going to a hotel. And so she was like, I got a message or a call or whatever from my husband, and he wanted me to meet him somewhere. And he had this room decked out and decorated, and it's romantic. And oh yeah, I forgot to tell y'all, when Destiny was doing what she was doing, she shouted out Kimmy and was like, well, I'm going to give away a trip to someone who deserves it. Somebody deserves a honeymoon. And she gave it to Kimmy, and it's like a 7-day type of situation. And so she was like, oh my gosh. And Kimmy, has not had that honeymoon. It's been 3 years, I think. They still haven't gone on their honeymoon. And now a lot of stuff is going, and it's kind of hectic with Monster's schedule. Like, he's into sports, and Maurice wants to be at everything that he can be at. And things have changed because he is more of the full-time custodial parent, and Monster will go home in like the summertime and like at Christmas and stuff like that. So he has Monster most of the time now, as he wanted. And so it's more responsibility. They are around him more, and he's young, so he needs them to be around. But they have not been able to have that me time away from him and to actually have their vacation. So then, like I was saying, back to what I was saying. I'm sorry, because I forgot. And I was like, wait a minute, a whole lot of stuff did happen within that conversation. So back to Maurice and Kimmy. So he had a nice little setup where it's like somewhat of an indoor picnic, I guess you could say. I think there was a charcuterie board or whatever, had wine and all of that. And so he's talking to her, and he was like, we had this meeting, we had this session with Dr. Francis. And so she was like, dang, everybody using Dr. Francis, ain't it? Was talking about that. And he was like, pretty much I have 2 wives. And, I work a lot, and I know that I have not been spending time with you as I should, and I want to. And so she was like, yeah, like I miss what we had, which was they used to spend so much time together. And she's one of those people, she's just like me. She likes to spend a lot of time with the person that you're with. Whatever y'all were doing in the beginning when y'all first got together, she wants it to continue. Like, it was awesome. She said they used to spend so much time together, used to have so much fun. And it's not like that anymore because he works so much. And so he was like, I'm going to start doing what I need to do and make time for that. And he ended up presenting her with a photo of some exotic place. I think they blurred it out, but you could tell it's like a tropical place. And so he was like, yeah, this is where it's going to be. They were doing it, I think, because it might have been a copyrighted picture where he just printed something out off the internet. I don't know. But it looked like it was like a sandy beach or whatever. And so she was like, well, what is this? And he was like, we're going to go on our honeymoon. And so she was like, oh, okay, wow. So I get 2 honeymoons. I get 2 vacations. She got emotional and she was like, I don't want to cry. I don't want to cry. I don't want to mess up my makeup. And so he was like, what are you talking about? Found out that the vacation was from her. And he was like, yeah, she's obsessed with you. He all in a confessional. Like, it's a running theme now that they are making it seem like Destiny wants her. And he was like, yeah, you're not going to get my wife. I was like, oh my gosh, y'all are crazy. But yeah, she's very happy about it. And it's a mess. I get it. It is what it is. And that is hilarious. But at least she's going to get to go. When? I don't know. And she has 2. They have 2. I feel like take one in the summer when Monster's going to be away, and take one around the holidays if y'all aren't going to be around family like that or something. Like, do what you're going to do. Enjoy it. Anyway, that was the episode. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this recap review. I'm sorry that it was so long, but I had to explain to y'all what was going on. So yeah, please subscribe to my channel if you have not done so. Give this video a thumbs up, and let's get down in the comment section and discuss this. Anyway, y'all have a good one. I might be back later on. I might be. Anyway, y'all have a good one. I will see y'all later on. Stay warm and be safe. Bye.